Crypto is an investment.
Does crypto make sense as an investment? Is it a hedge against collapsing economies? What makes it valuable? When Bitcoin was first conceived, it was meant as a digital currency. In fact, a digital micropayment system. Its developers never imagined that it would be hoarded as an investment. This flies in the face of its design as a way to transfer value. Currencies only work if they are spent, not saved. Bitcoin's fixed amount of tokens was meant to ensure the value couldn't be diluted. Not so much that it would end up being highly scarce and super valuable. That narrative is a relatively new invention that didn't surface until many years after its creation, when adoption as a currency failed and bag holders needed a new scheme to create more interest to keep the value from collapsing. And virtually every crypto spin-off since panders to this basic objective. Buy, don't sell, get rich later. But is that rational? Today, people compare crypto to gold, suggesting it's a precious thing that's rare and will only perpetually increase in value. Unfortunately, not only is there no guarantee that will happen, there's also not a single precedent in all of human history that suggests something like cryptocurrency will maintain long-term value. Gold is an element and has a plethora of industrial and material uses. It's conductive but corrosion resistant, making it a very useful material in electronic components. It's also very shiny and malleable and has been used to make both functional and desirable items for thousands of years. Gold has stood the test of time, proving that it can maintain long-term value over time and different cultures due to its tangible material benefits. Crypto and blockchain have no such qualities. Crypto is an intangible digital asset. It has no intrinsic value. It has no material use. It exclusively exists as some bits of data in a distributed database that is powered by random people who are at best temporarily motivated to maintain these databases. There is no guarantee tomorrow the Bitcoin blockchain will remain online. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies that no longer exist because there's not enough interest in operating their blockchain software. The same could happen to Bitcoin or any other crypto. This isn't to say crypto has no value. Obviously, to some, it has great value, but this is called extrinsic value, which is different from intrinsic value. Value is a function of supply and demand. If you have demand, then you have value. If supply is limited, then value increases. But limited supply with limited demand results in little to no value. Demand is the key component that gives things value, not scarcity. But not all demand is equal. There are two distinct types of demand. There is demand because of an inherent need, which exists regardless of popularity, and then there's demand which is a function of popularity. The former is intrinsic, the latter is extrinsic. Take water, for example. This commodity has significant intrinsic value. It's required for all agriculture. People need water to survive, so its value isn't dependent upon what people think of it. It provides an undeniable use regardless. These types of commodities are also a great hedge against other market forces, because no matter what happens, people will always need water. Crypto, on the other hand, has no material use. It only has value if you can convince someone else it does. All of crypto's supposed value is extrinsic. This also explains why crypto is not a hedge against inflation or other market forces. It has no additional utility during times of crisis. You can argue fiat is also exclusively based on extrinsic value, and that would be correct, but fiat wasn't created to be a commodity or an investment. It was created to be used as a temporary transfer of value. Hoarding fiat as an investment is not a good idea either. But more importantly, not all extrinsic value is equal. The extrinsic value attributed to fiat is a function of the state, the government. Its popularity is mandated by law, by the same institutions that provide you fresh water, roads, schools, and many other critical services. These same institutions also guarantee and enforce private property rights. So if you are worried the fiat system is going to collapse, note that in order for that to happen, the entire government would need to collapse. And in that case, the value of $1 would be the least of your worries. You'd also have no reliable utilities or anybody to defend your right to own your own home. So when crypto people celebrate their so-called hedge against the collapse of modern society, they naively expect everything except for fiat to magically keep working, which is absurd. So, if you want to believe crypto is digital gold and a good investment, that's your prerogative. But note that there is no evidence anything of this nature whose value is wholly extrinsic and whose popularity is a function of random people who put their own needs above the greater good would hold any long-term value. Crypto is not a hedge against inflation. It's not a hedge against traditional economies or market forces. It has no added benefit when other things go wrong. It has no use other than something to be tossed like a hot potato to the next greater fool. Caveat emptor.